Welcome back to the channel, Rarest Coins, where we unlock the secrets behind the coins in your pocket and reveal the hidden treasures of American history. Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of the most fascinating coins ever struck by the U.S. Mint. It's the 1952 Lincoln penny. Believe it or not, one of these coins is rumored to be worth a jaw-dropping $1.9 million. That's right, a single copper penny that could buy you a mansion, a luxury car, or even your dream retirement. But what's the truth behind this legendary coin? Why is the 1952 Lincoln cent so special? And how do you know if you have one of these rare treasures? Let's get into it. First, we have to start with the history. The Lincoln penny, officially called the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This was the first time a real person was featured on a regular issue U.S. coin. The original design featured wheat ears on the reverse side, and that stayed in place until 1958. These early pennies are often referred to as wheat pennies. By 1952, the United States was fully involved in rebuilding the post-war economy and minting millions of coins to support the booming population and economy. The 1952 Lincoln penny was struck at the San Francisco Mint. You can identify it by the small letter S below the date on the front of the coin. Over 137 million of these coins were produced, which might not seem rare at first glance. But in the world of coin collecting, it's not just about how many were made. It's about how many still exist in exceptional condition or with rare mistakes. Let's talk about why this coin can be so valuable. Most 1952 pennies are made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. They weigh about 3.11 grams and have a reddish-brown or full red appearance depending on how well they were preserved. The vast majority of these coins have been circulated, worn down, and tossed aside. But a few extremely well-preserved examples have survived in nearly perfect condition. These are what collectors call mint state coins. Coins graded MS66, MS67, or higher are rare and valuable. Some of these have already sold for thousands of dollars at major auctions. Now here's where things get really interesting. There are rumors and even some unconfirmed reports of a 1952 penny selling for up to $1.9 million. How is that possible? The answer lies in a combination of extreme rarity, collector demand, and possibly a unique mint error. Imagine a 1952 Lincoln penny that not only survived in perfect mint condition but was also struck with a dramatic double die error or even on a wrong planchet like silver or aluminum. That kind of coin would be one of a kind. If certified by a trusted grading company and put up for auction, wealthy collectors could easily bid it into the seven-figure range. While no public record confirms a $1.9 million sale just yet, coins of historical significance and extreme rarity have broken the million-dollar barrier before. So it is possible. What should you be looking for in a valuable 1952 penny? First, check the coin's condition. If it looks brand new, shiny red, and has no scratches or dings, that's a good start. You'll want to look for a full red designation, meaning the coin has retained its original copper luster. These coins command much higher prices than brown or even red-brown examples. Next, look closely for any doubling. A double die obverse or reverse would show slight doubling on the letters in Liberty, the motto "In God We Trust," or the date 1952. You'll want to use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect this carefully. Any sign of doubling could mean you're looking at a valuable error coin. Also pay attention to the edges and shape. Is the coin perfectly round? Is the rim complete? Are there any signs of it being struck off-center or on the wrong type of metal? A 1952 penny struck on a dime planchet, for example, would be a major mint error and worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. And of course, weigh the coin. A normal 1952 penny should weigh around 3.11 grams. If it's significantly lighter or heavier, that could indicate it was struck on the wrong planchet. If you think you've found something special, your next step is to have the coin authenticated and graded by a professional coin grading company like PCGS or NGC. They will examine the coin under high magnification, assign it a grade based on condition, and verify any errors or unusual features. This step is crucial if you want to know the real value of your penny. How much are 1952 Lincoln pennies worth today? For circulated examples, the value is usually just a few cents to a dollar depending on condition. Uncirculated coins graded MS63 to MS65 can sell for $10 to $50. In higher grades like MS66 red, prices jump into the hundreds. A rare MS-67 red 1952 S penny has sold for over $5,000. Add in a dramatic error or an off-metal strike, and that value skyrockets into the tens or even hundreds of thousands. And yes, under just the right conditions. One unique coin could hit the $1 million mark. So before you toss that old change jar or roll of wheat pennies aside, take a moment to check the dates. You might just have a small copper coin worth a small fortune. To wrap it up, the 1952 S Lincoln penny is a symbol of American history, post-war recovery, and hidden value. While most are worth only a little, the rarest and most perfect examples can fetch huge prices, and one legendary version may have even sold for close to $1.9 million. Whether you're a new collector or a seasoned numismatist, this is one coin you should definitely keep an eye out for. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin stories, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the next hidden treasure. Drop a comment if you've ever come across a 1952 S penny or want us to cover another rare coin. Until next time, happy hunting and keep your eyes on your change. Outro music plays in screen shows with subscribe button and video suggestions. Would you like a short version of this for Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts? I can also help write the title, description, and tags for SEO optimization. Welcome back to the channel, Rarest Coins, where we talk about rare coins, hidden treasures, and the surprising value of everyday money. Today, we're diving into one of the most talked about coins in recent years, the 1980 Lincoln penny. That's right, a 1-cent coin that some claim could be worth up to $1.3 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But hold on. Let's break it all down and uncover the truth behind this incredible story. First, let's talk history. The Lincoln penny has been a cornerstone of American currency since 1909. That was the year it was introduced to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, America's 16th president. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure and not just a symbolic image. By 1980, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for over 70 years and had gone through a few design changes. From 1909 to 1958, the back of the penny featured 2 wheat ears, which became known as the wheat penny. Then in 1959, to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the reverse was changed to display the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. This design stayed on the back of the penny until 2008. Now let's focus on the 1980 Lincoln penny. In 1980, the United States Mint produced hundreds of millions of Lincoln pennies. These coins were made at 3 main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coins from Philadelphia had no mint mark. Denver coins had a small D under the date, and San Francisco pennies carried an S. Most 1980 pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. That's important, because just a few years later, the U.S. Mint would switch to copper-plated zinc to cut down on production costs. So why are people talking about a 1980 penny being worth over $1 million? Well, as with many coins, the value comes from more than just age. There are 3 key things that make a coin valuable: rarity, condition, and demand. And with the 1980 Lincoln cent, some rare errors and unique variations have made certain examples incredibly desirable to collectors. Let's talk about those rare errors. Point 1: of the most famous and valuable kinds of errors is the double die. This happens during the minting process when the coin is struck more than once, but slightly off each time, creating a doubling effect in the design. This is most commonly visible on the date, the word liberty, and the phrase "in God we trust." A strong double die error can easily increase a penny's value by hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Another highly prized error is a penny struck on the wrong planchet. For example, a 1980 Lincoln cent that was struck on a dime planchet or on an experimental metal like aluminum or steel. These kinds of off-metal errors are extremely rare and always turn heads at auctions. If one of these errors were to show up in perfect mint condition and had unique characteristics, it could easily spark a bidding war. That's how we get to the $1 million price tag. Imagine a 1980 Lincoln penny with a double die error, struck on an off-metal planchet, and in perfect mint state condition, graded MS-69 or even MS-70 by a top grading company. That combination of rarity and perfection is what can drive the price up to 6 or even 7 figures. While there's no public record of a 1980 penny officially selling for $1.3 million, it is theoretically possible if all the right conditions are met. There have already been examples of 1980 Lincoln cents selling for several $1,000s. Some of these were simply in excellent condition. Others had notable mint errors. For instance, a few 1980 S-proof pennies have sold for high prices because of unique imperfections combined with flawless surfaces. Coin collectors and investors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that stand out from the rest, especially when they're rare and certified by trusted grading companies like PCGS or NGC.so. How do you know if your 1980 penny is valuable? Start by examining the coin closely. Look at the date and lettering for any signs of doubling. A magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe can help here. Check the weight too. A normal copper penny from 1980 should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it weighs significantly less or more, it might have been struck on the wrong kind of metal. Also look for any signs of off-center strikes, missing design elements, or strange colorations. If you think you have something rare, it's worth sending your coin to be graded and authenticated. This not only verifies its value, but also gives buyers confidence if you ever choose to sell it.so. To sum it all up, the 1980 Lincoln penny is more than just spare change. While most are worth only a cent, a few rare varieties with mint errors, off-metal strikes, or pristine condition can fetch thousands. And yes, under the right circumstances, the value could reach into the millions. It's unlikely, but not impossible, which is why coin collectors are always on the hunt. The next big discovery could be sitting in a pocket, a drawer, or a piggy bank.so. What are you waiting for? Go dig through your loose change. Look through your old coin jars. And who knows? Maybe you'll find a 1980 penny that's worth way more than you ever expected. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin treasure stories, and tap the bell so you never miss an update. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare penny or want to know more about specific coins. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting. Outro music fades and end screen appears with subscribe button and video recommendations if you'd like a follow-up video focused only on identifying error coins and 1980 pennies, or a short-form script for social media platforms. Just let me know. Welcome back to the channel where we explore hidden treasures hiding in plain sight. Rarest coins. Today we're diving deep into one of the most mysterious coins in American pocket change history. We're talking about the 1978 Lincoln penny. Some claim it could be worth up to $1.4 million. That's right, one single penny from 1978 potentially worth more than a luxury mansion. But is that true? What makes this coin special? And could you have one lying around in your change jar? Let's find out. Now, before we jump into the big price tag, let's start with a bit of background. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. It replaced the Indian head cent and was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. Since then, the Lincoln penny has become a fixture in American currency. Over the years, there have been some design changes. In 1959, the reverse was changed from the wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial. And by 1978, that design was still in use. The 1978 D penny, specifically, was minted in Denver. You can identify it by the small d under the year on the obverse or front side of the coin. Over 4.2 billion of these pennies were made in Denver alone. So what makes one worth so much money? Here's where it gets interesting. Most 1978 D pennies are made from a copper alloy, 95% copper and 5% zinc. They weigh about 3.11 grams and don't look too different from other pennies minted in the same decade. But in the world of coin collecting, it's the tiny differences that matter most. There are a few factors that could give a 1978 D Lincoln penny massive value. One is condition. If the coin is in pristine condition, what collectors call mint state 67 or higher, it can fetch a pretty penny. No pun intended. The highest graded 1978 D pennies have sold at auction for several $100s. Not bad for something that originally cost just 1 cent, but what about the $1 million claim? There have been rumors and viral posts online about a 1978 D penny selling for $1.4 million. Some even include dramatic headlines and images of a shiny, flawless penny. So far, there's no public record of any 1978 D penny officially selling for that amount. No major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers have listed such a sale. That said, it doesn't mean rare and valuable varieties don't exist. Let's talk about some of the errors and varieties that could make your 1978 D penny extremely valuable. Point 1 possibility is a double die. This is when the coin is struck more than once in slightly different positions, creating a doubling effect on the letters or numbers. If you find a 1978 D penny with strong doubling, especially on the date, Liberty, or In God We Trust, you might have something rare on your hands. Another potential error is an off-metal strike. That's when the penny was accidentally struck on a planchet meant for another coin. For example, if a 1978 D penny was struck on a dime planchet, or even on an aluminum planchet, that would be a huge deal. These kinds of errors are very rare and can go for thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars. Also, look for things like off-center strikes, broad strikes, and clipped planchets. These minting mistakes can seriously increase a penny's value depending on how dramatic the error is. So could a 1978 D penny actually be worth $1.4 million? Technically, yes, but only under extremely rare circumstances. For example, if a previously unknown error coin was discovered in flawless condition and sparked a bidding war among top collectors, it's possible. Coin values are driven by rarity, condition, and demand. If a one-of-a-kind 1978 D penny exists and collectors want it badly enough, the sky's the limit. That said, it's important to separate the hype from reality. Most 1978 D pennies are only worth face value. A coin in high mint state condition might fetch between $5 and a few $100s. Only those with rare errors, mint mistakes, or extraordinary stories attached to them could reach into the thousands or beyond. So what should you do if you think you have a valuable 1978 D penny? First, grab a magnifying glass and check for doubling or unusual features. Weigh the coin if you can. A standard copper penny should weigh around 3.11 grams. If your coin is significantly lighter, it could be struck on the wrong planchet. You might also want to send it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll certify the coin's authenticity, grade, and condition, which helps determine its market value. To wrap things up, the 1978 D Lincoln penny is a fascinating piece of American history. While most are common, a few rare varieties and error coins can be worth serious money. And while the legendary $1.4 million penny might still be out there waiting to be discovered, it's the hunt that makes coin collecting so exciting. So go check your change jars, dig into your penny rolls, and see what you might find. Who knows? You just might be holding a little copper coin that's worth a fortune. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss out on another hidden coin treasure. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare penny or if you have questions about coins you want us to cover. Thanks for watching and keep collecting. You never know when your next big discovery might be hiding in plain sight. Outro music fades in end screen with subscribe button and video suggestions. Would you like a shorter version for TikTok or YouTube Shorts as well? Welcome back to the channel where we dive into the fascinating world of rare coins, valuable finds, and the hidden treasures you might already own. Today we're exploring a coin that's gained a lot of attention among collectors and treasure hunters alike. We're talking about the 1968 Lincoln penny. This is a coin that many people overlook, but some rare versions of it are said to be worth up to $1.5 million. That's right, a single 1-cent coin that could buy you a dream house, a luxury car, or even a private island. But is the hype real? What makes a 1968 penny so special? And how can you tell if you're holding onto a small fortune? Let's get into the full story, the history, the key varieties, and what to look for. Let's start with the basics. The Lincoln cent has been part of American pocket change since 1909. That was the year it was first issued to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Over the decades, the design has changed slightly, but the obverse has always featured Lincoln's profile. From 1959 to 2008, the reverse showed the Lincoln Memorial, and that's what you'll see on the back of any 1968 penny. Now, the 1968 penny was struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins have no mint mark. Denver coins are marked with a small d, and the San Francisco coins, which were mostly proof coins, carry an S mint mark. Knowing the mint location is important because it affects rarity and value. So what makes some 1968 Lincoln pennies valuable? First and foremost, condition. Most 1968 pennies were circulated, meaning they were used in daily transactions, picked up scratches, and lost their original luster. But a small number of these coins were never used. They stayed in pristine condition, what collectors call mint state. Coins graded MS65 or higher are much rarer and worth far more. If you've got a 1968 penny in perfect condition, it's already worth more than face value. But there's more to the story. In the world of coin collecting, mint errors, and unique varieties can dramatically increase a coin's value. The 1968 penny is no exception. One of the most famous varieties from this year is the 1968 double die obverse. This is a type of error where the coin's design was impressed onto the die twice at slightly different angles, creating a noticeable doubling effect on the lettering and numbers. On a true 1968 double die, you'll see doubling in the words Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and especially the date. These coins are extremely rare. Only a small number have been confirmed, and collectors are always on the lookout. In top condition, this error variety has sold for thousands and even tens of thousands of dollars. So where does the $1.5 million figure come from? It's believed that one ultra-rare specimen of the 1968 double die in nearly perfect condition was offered to private collectors at a staggering price. While not confirmed through public auction, the coin is said to be one of the finest examples ever discovered. Combine that with the demand for rare double dies, the San Francisco mint mark, and the historical significance of the series, and you get a coin that could command a value in the $1 million range. Whether it's actually sold for $1.5 million is unclear, but the potential is there, and it doesn't stop at doubling. Collectors also look for other errors in 1968 pennies. Off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, and coins struck on the wrong metal can all bring significant value. One example would be a 1968 penny mistakenly struck on a dime planchet, making it thinner and slightly smaller than normal. These types of errors are rare and highly sought after. So how do you know if your 1968 penny is worth money? First, check the mint mark. If you have a 1968 you could be in luck. Next, look closely at the text. Use a magnifying glass to see if there is any doubling on the date or letters. If you think you see it, compare it with known examples online or take it to a professional for evaluation. Then check the condition. Coins with original red luster and no scratches are the most valuable. A coin grading company like PCGS or NGC can give your penny an official grade, which will make it easier to sell and more attractive to buyers. Also, weigh the coin. A normal 1968 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If your coin is heavier or lighter, you might have an off-metal error, which could make it rare and valuable. Now let's talk realistic numbers. A regular 1968 penny in circulated condition is worth just a cent. A clean uncirculated coin might go for a few dollars. But a 1968 double die obverse in mint state condition? That can sell for several $1,000s. The finest known examples can easily reach tens of thousands. And if you happen to discover a unique or previously unknown variety, the sky is the limit. That's where those $1 million values come into play. To wrap this all up, the 1968 Lincoln penny is far more interesting than it looks. While most are common, some have become rare collectibles worth thousands or even millions. Whether it's a double die, a striking error, or just an unbelievably well-preserved example, these coins are still out there. And they're being found by ordinary people going through old change jars, inherited coin collections, or rolls of pennies from the bank. So take a moment to look at your coins. That 1968 penny you've been ignoring might just be your golden ticket. If you find one that looks special, have it checked out. You never know. You could be holding one of the most valuable pennies in American history. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins hiding in your everyday change, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you want us to cover a specific year next. Until next time, keep searching, keep learning, and happy collecting. Outro music fades in screen shows with subscribe button and recommended coin videos. Let me know if you want a YouTube title, tags, or thumbnail text to go with this video. I can also create a shorter version for YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels if needed. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about rare coins, hidden money in your pocket change, and the surprising value of everyday objects. Rarest coins. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that looks ordinary at first glance but has become one of the most talked about coins in modern collecting. We're talking about the 1982 Lincoln penny. You may have heard rumors about one of these pennies selling for over $1.3 million. Could it really be true? What makes the 1982 penny so special? And how can you tell if you're sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? Let's get into the facts, the history, and the mystery behind this legendary coin. Let's begin with a bit of background. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909 when it was introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. For decades, these pennies were made primarily from copper. But in 1982, something changed. The United States Mint faced rising copper prices. In fact, it was costing more than 1 cent just to make a penny. So the Mint made a major decision. They switched the metal composition from 95% copper to a cheaper copper-plated zinc alloy. But here's where things get interesting. The transition happened during 1982, not before or after. That means there are two types of 1982 Lincoln pennies, one made of copper and one made of zinc. To make things more complex, the Mint used both large and small date designs that year. So now you have multiple varieties of 1982 pennies: copper large date, copper small date, zinc large date, zinc small date, and that's just from the Philadelphia Mint. Now add the Denver Mint into the equation. That's where we get the 1982 D penny. The D mint mark below the date means it was struck in Denver. Like Philadelphia, Denver also produced copper and zinc versions, but only with the large date design. Or at least, that's what we were supposed to believe. For years, collectors thought no small date 1982 D zinc penny existed. But then everything changed. In 2016, a man named Paul Malone discovered something shocking. He found a 1982 D small date penny made of zinc. This was a variety that was never officially recorded. Experts thought it shouldn't exist, but it did. And when this coin was authenticated and verified by grading companies like PCGS, it became instantly famous in the coin world. Only a handful of these 1982 D small date zinc pennies have ever been confirmed, and they are incredibly valuable. One of them, in mint state condition, was estimated to be worth over $1.3 million. That's not just hype. That's based on its combination of extreme rarity, a dramatic minting anomaly, and high collector demand. The 1982 D small date zinc penny is one of the most important modern era coins in existence. So how do you know if you have one? Here's what to look for. First, flip your 1982 D penny over and make sure it has the Denver Mint mark under the date. Then look at the shape and size of the numbers in the date, especially the number 2. On a small date penny, the number 2 is more delicate and has a slightly curled base. The tops of the numbers in a small date also sit more level compared to the large date, where the numbers rise slightly. Next, you need to figure out the metal composition. The best way to do this is by weighing the coin. A copper penny weighs about 3.11 grams. A zinc penny weighs only 2.5 grams. If you find a 1982 D penny with a small date design that weighs 2.5 grams, you may be holding one of the rarest coins in modern history. And if that's the case, your next step should be to have the coin authenticated and graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. They will confirm the date style, the metal content, and the overall condition. High-grade versions of this coin are extremely valuable, and collectors are willing to pay a fortune for certified examples. Now let's talk value. Most 1982 D pennies are common and worth only face value, especially the regular large date versions. A copper large date in uncirculated condition might be worth a few cents to $1. A zinc large date might go for even less. But the rare 1982 D small date zinc version? That's where things change completely. One verified example sold for over $18,000. Another was estimated to be worth more than $1.3 million, depending on grade and collector interest. That puts this coin in the same conversation as some of the most valuable U.S. coins ever discovered. So how does a modern penny reach this kind of value? The answer comes down to rarity, mistake, and mystery. This coin shouldn't exist. It wasn't supposed to be made. But somehow, a small batch of them slipped through quality control and made it into circulation. That kind of anomaly grabs the attention of collectors worldwide. And when a coin is both extremely rare and part of a historic minting transition, the value can go sky high. To wrap it all up, the 1982 D Lincoln penny is more than just a piece of loose change. It's a coin tied to one of the most significant changes in U.S. mint history. While most are ordinary, a few rare varieties, especially the zinc small date version, are worth a fortune. If you're lucky enough to find one in your pocket or your coin collection, you could be looking at $1 million discovery. So check your change, go through your old coin jars, and don't overlook your 1982 pennies. They could be hiding something incredible. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting or helpful, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more rare coin stories, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare penny or want to know more about modern era coins. Until next time, Keep hunting and good luck out there. Outro music plays in screen shows with subscribe button and video suggestions. Let me know if you'd like a thumbnail title, video description, or script for a YouTube Shorts version of this topic.